The rivalry between Mario and the King of the Koopas is one that's almost as old as the entire medium of video games. For 35 years now, Bowser has been coming up with all manner of schemes to whisk Princess Peach away to rule the Mushroom Kingdom himself, or just cause general havoc and inconvenience for the pair of Italian siblings. While the big guy is often at odds with Mario and his friends, he's not always trying to ruin the fun. In fact, sometimes it's quite the opposite. He's more than happy to put his differences aside from what is essentially his arch nemesis, join in and have a good time. And to prove Bowser isn't all that bad and is actually capable of being a good guy or a good turtle, we've put together a collection of the times where he did the right thing, stepped up to the plate, and was just an all-around good guy. These are reasons why Bowser is actually a good guy. And a small note, some spoilers may occur on this list, so be warned. Just Playing Tennis, Mario Tennis, Nintendo 64. In almost all of Mario's sports spin-off titles like Mario Kart, Mario Golf, and Mario Strikers, Bowser usually concedes and allows himself to share the track, fairway, and pitch with his age-old adversary, even if his ulterior motive is to play an underhanded game or to cheat his way to victory. In the original Mario Tennis, however, he just wants to have some friendly rallies. In the opening cinematic, the characters are introduced one by one and shown playing happily against each other, with Wario and then new addition to the roster Waluigi shown spying from the sidelines and eventually crash the party just before the tournament final takes place. Luigi takes particular offense to the new antagonist and the two prepare to face off before Mario attempts to step in, but is cut off by Wario, and the brothers are challenged to a doubles match. All the ruckus is then interrupted by another pair of entrants dropping in. Bowser and King Boo are revealed to be this pair, and everyone becomes even more concerned. This concern quickly vanishes when the Koopa and his floating doubles partner simply smile and swing their racket, showing they just want to have a chance to serve some aces. Sports really do bring people together, legitimately trying to court Peach. Super Mario Odyssey. For a number of years now, Bowser's evil plans usually revolve around kidnapping the princess and either imprisoning her or trying to marry her, making him the new de facto ruler of the Mushroom Kingdom and all of its denizens. I can only guess anyway. I'm not too familiar with the binding laws of the Fungi Nation. 99% of the time, this occurs through brute force, but the reptilian behemoth has been known to alter his tactics and go for a more gentle approach every now and then. The entire plot of the Nintendo Switch masterpiece Super Mario Odyssey is based around Bowser and the Brutals attempting to force Peach into marrying the Koopa King. While the princess is understandably not happy with being abducted and coerced into wedding a giant fire-breathing turtle, Bowser actually attempts to plan a nice day for his new bride. Bowser and his minions get a cake, a dress, and a bouquet of flowers all ready for the big day. So technically they steal them, but it's the thought that counts, right? And he also takes her to the moon for the ceremony, which at least shows he's serious. After Mario and Bowser battle it out and eventually escape a collapsing cavern, Bowser makes one last attempt to win Peach's affections. Sadly, she declines his offer. Although she also turns down Mario, so I guess it's nothing personal. Sharing his airship, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. The RPG spin-off series of Mario and Luigi games are known for their humor and tongue-in-cheek approach to the cast of timeless Nintendo characters we all know and love. And the depiction of Bowser in these games is no exception. In between forgetting Luigi's name and refusing to be outdone as the #1 bad guy around, Bowser takes on a personal vendetta against the antagonists in the first Mario and Luigi game, Superstar Saga. In this Game Boy Advance outing, all new villains, Cackletta and Fawful, steal Peach's voice and escape to their home of Bean Bean Kingdom. Bowser arrives intending to kidnap Peach, as he so often does, but opts against it now that her speech has become explosive and he doesn't want to ruin his castle. After being informed of the situation, Bowser supports Mario and Luigi's intention of traveling to the distant land to save the princess, so he can capture her instead, of course. The rivals enter into a truce of sorts, and Bowser allows Mario to use his Koopa Cruiser airship to pursue the two bad guys to Bean Bean Kingdom. Luigi accidentally ends up on board as well, but the pair are given full reign of the floating accommodation, and all of Bowser's lackeys are amicable to them. They're even kind enough to run you through some tutorials and take a passport photo for you both. If it'll get him what he wants, Bowser has no problem playing nice. A charitable host, Mario Party from the Nintendo 64. While its luck-based and fortune-switching mechanics have arguably tested more friendships than Monopoly, the Mario Party series is always a fun way to spend an evening with your friends. In the realms of the virtual board games, Bowser occupies his own space, which you almost always don't want to visit as it usually spells some kind of misfortune for you. There are some extenuating circumstances though where he'll just straight up be nice to you. There's a number of things that can happen when you pass over a Bowser space, and these vary from game to game. But generally, you'll end up playing some kind of lopsided minigame that will cost you coins, or have to undergo an event that favors Bowser in some way. But in the very first Mario Party, there are certain conditions where Bowser will actually give you coins instead of taking them. Should you show up to his door without a penny or star to your name, he'll take pity on you and give you a present of 20 coins. He does have events labeled 100 star present and 1000 coin present, but he doesn't come through on these promises and just hightails it out of there. In Mario Party 3, he became even more generous by giving those who landed on his space without any currency anywhere from 30 to 50 coins. He can even give away free items like the Bowser phone and Bowser suit. This is probably why we haven't seen Bowser run a successful business just yet. Taking on Ochunks, Super Paper Mario on the Nintendo Wii. Like the Mario and Luigi games, the Paper Mario series departs from the tone of the main series by being more playful with its writing, and you generally see traditional bad guys framed in a much different role than we're used to, sometimes even getting to play as them for a short period of time. 2004's Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door played with the idea of controlling Bowser in short, retro-inspired sections that saw you side-scrolling through levels reminiscent of the original Super Mario Bros. Except you were crashing through everything as the Koopa King and bombarding your way to the goal flag. In Nintendo Wii's Super Paper Mario, his goal was expanded as he eventually joins Mario in his quest. Starting out as a villain, although this was due to a misunderstanding, Bowser eventually told what will happen if Count Bleck succeeds in his plan of collapsing the world into the void. After some begging and pleading from Peach and Mario, Bowser puts his pride aside and parties up with his longtime foe. After first fighting off a brainwashed Luigi, aka Mr. L, the Big B gets his moment to shine when he steps in to take on Ochunks, one of Count Bleck's enforcers. After a grueling battle, Bowser and Ochunks sacrifice themselves to stop the room collapsing so Mario and his friends can escape to stop the count. If that's not nice, I don't know what is. Defending the World of Light, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Nintendo Switch. Super Smash Bros. Is even more non-canon than the spin-off titles like Mario Kart and similar games due to the fact that it's not just a game involving Mario. This makes it something of an anomaly from a narrative standpoint, but Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's Adventure Mode showed us that Bowser, along with everyone else, realized when he was needed for the greater good. In this cinematic intro, the whole roster from Mario to Fox McCloud to Marth are seen squaring up to the entity of Galeem and his army of master hands who want to imprison the spirits of the world. While anxiously and tensely awaiting to see what their opponents would do, and at the same time working out how many master hands they'd each need to defeat, Bowser stands among his friends and enemies ready to forward smash the floating gloves out of existence. Sadly, no one survives except the pink puffball Kirby, and Bowser is imprisoned in a stasis-like state along with everyone else. Nonetheless, the cutscene shows him valiantly fighting but inevitably losing to Galeem's power before he falls. Technically left up to the player to decide, once Bowser's spirit is restored in Adventure Mode, he becomes available for selection, meaning he rejoined the cause to help end the Reign of Terror. Fighting Dark Bowser, Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story. Venturing once again to the Mario and Luigi games, but this time to the Nintendo DS entry of Mario and Luigi, Bowser's inside story. The royal reptile took somewhat center stage due to the very nature of the story, with Mario, Luigi, and Starlo, aka Chippy, all confined to the intestinal fortitude of the bulky anti-hero. Bowser was almost a secondary protagonist as well as an explorable environment. After spending the whole game fighting their mutual enemy Fawful, returning from the original Mario and Luigi game, Bowser accidentally inhales an item called the Dark Star, which begins to copy his DNA and forms an entity called Dark Bowser, a more evil and powerful version of the big guy himself. This dark doppelganger then absorbs Fawful and becomes even stronger, which Bowser has to then face off against. Unbeknownst that they've been lurking inside him this whole time, Bowser takes on the incarnation while the brothers duel with Fawful, now the Dark Star Core, as he infests Bowser's organs. Whether knowingly or not, Bowser realized, as he's done in the past, that he had to ignore his own hubris, otherwise everyone was screwed, including himself. After landing a series of powerful punches, Bowser vanquishes the dark version of himself before he vomits everything and everyone out of him and back to normal. Bowser is understandably irate after he finds out his two biggest rivals have been coasting inside him the entire time. But his initial intentions were good, so we're calling that a win. Being a good dad. Super Mario Sunshine / Nintendo Switch ad. While not the most common character to appear in the Mario universe, Bowser Jr. gave Bowser a fresh dynamic as a father and allowed him to have more of a human angle as a caring dad who just wants the best for his son. Okay, he has been known to use his firstborn in his plans to kidnap the princess, but in the spirit of this list, we'll just call that bonding time. First introduced in the GameCube's Super Mario Sunshine, Bowser Jr. donned the moniker of Fake or Shadow Mario, framing him for ruining the Isle of Delfino with colorful graffiti and scattering the shine sprites. After destroying the mechanical Bowser in Pinna Park, it's revealed that Bowser's son has been the one trashing the tropical paradise. In the kid's defense, he was told a slightly inaccurate piece of ancestral information by his father in that Peach was his mother. While you could condemn Bowser for duping his son with false pretenses, he comes clean with him in the ending cutscene, with Junior admitting he knew Peach wasn't his mom. In his defense, Bowser just wants to give his son a family, which speaks volumes to his commitment as a father. This theme is returned to in Mario and the Rabbids, where he checks on his son to make sure he's done his chores and his homework, just like a responsible parent should. Not affiliated with any game, but an ad for the Nintendo Switch's remote parental controls show Bowser monitoring his son's video game usage and even takes his enjoyment into consideration by being reluctant to cut his game of Mario Kart short. Nintendo Father of the Year, if you ask me. And finally, joining forces with Mario. Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo. For Bowser to agree to an alliance with Mario, a person who's been consistently thwarting his plans time after time, there has to be a dire situation afoot or a very unique circumstance at hand to bring this about. This first occurred in Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars on the Super Nintendo, a series that's been somewhat spiritually continued with the Paper Mario line of games. The game starts out as most games do, with Mario looking to get the princess back from the Koopa's clutches. But a giant sentient sword destroys both the Star Road and Bowser's Keep, scattering Mario, his friends, and Bowser in the process. Mario learns he must find the star fragments to restore the Star Road and sets about in his quest. Mario and his new party members, Mallow and Geno, eventually come across Bowser, who's been deserted by his minions after a robot named Smithy and his gang have taken over the Mushroom Kingdom. Realizing he's up a certain creek without any kind of paddle, Bowser joins up with Mario, although technically Bowser agrees to let Mario join him and his Koopa troop in order to get rid of Smithy and ultimately help Mario find the missing star pieces. As later games would continue to prove, Bowser is not proud enough or indeed foolish enough to bicker with the pint-sized plumber if the eventual outcome of helping him means they both win. In Super Mario RPG, he happily fights alongside his friend and acts as the tank of the party, often stepping in to do things Mario can't without him even asking. And you don't do those things if you're not a nice guy. So we think that definitively proves it. Bowser is a good guy at heart after all. When it gets down to it, he'll do the right thing. He just might need a bit of convincing or a nudge in the right direction. Are there any other times you know of where Bowser was a stand-up guy? Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure to hit that notification bell and binge more of our Super Mario content. And if you want to know about some classic Bowser shenanigans, check out our video of the most evil Nintendo villains to see where he ranks. Thanks for watching.